Lesson 7, I will use place value disc to represent 2-digit by 1-digit multiplication. So you did this in your Zern lesson, and we're just going to practice this a little bit more with a little bit less help than you had in the Zern video. All right, so let's take a look here at our problem set. Please go ahead and write your name on your problem set, and let's take a look at the directions. Represent the following expressions with disc, regrouping as necessary, writing a matching expression, and recording the partial products vertically as shown below. So you can see from our example in A that we've got 1 times 43. So we've got 1 times 4 tens and 1 times 3 ones. So that's 43 times 1, or 1 times 3 ones, which is 3, and 1 times 4 tens, which is 40, together equals 43. If you remember from the video, these are called partial products because you have part of the product and you put it together to get the total product. Okay, so now let's try one together. So we have 2 times 43 instead of 1 times 43. So let's start with 43. So that's going to be 4 tens and 3 ones. So that's 43 one time. Let's go ahead and do 43 2 times. So because I don't have any groups larger than 10, I don't have any bundling to do. Let's write this vertically. 43 times 2. So we're going to start with 2 times 3 ones. So I'm going to write here 2 times 3 ones. And I do want you to go ahead and write this. We'll write this for a little bit until we get used to it. So 2 times 3 ones was 6 ones. And then we had 2 times 4 tens, which gave us 8 tens, which has a value of 80. 6 plus 80 equals 86. Okay, let's take a look at C. All right, so this time we had 3 times 43. So I'm going to go ahead and put 43. But we have to do it 3 times. So here's 2 times. And here's 3 times. So you'll notice I end up with 9 ones, but over here I have 12 tens. So I can't have more than 10 or more than 9 in one place value group. So I'm going to bundle these 10 tens and I'm going to move them to the hundreds place. And now I have 102 tens. So I've got 43 times 3. So that would be 3 times 3 ones and 3 times 4 tens. So 3 times 3 ones was 9. 3 times 4 tens was 102 tens, which is 120. And then when I add these two partial products together, I get 129. All right, let's take a look at D. If you feel like you can do D all by yourself, go ahead and do it. I want you to pause the video and at least try to do as much of it as you can by yourself, and then we're going to come back and check together. Okay, so hopefully you pause the video and you try to do this by yourself and you're not just letting the video play and copying everything that I do, because remember what we said, something magical happens when you pause the video and try to do this all by yourself. So we have 43 4 times. So that's 4 tens 3 times, and 3 ones 4 times. And you can see that this time I ended up with 12 ones. So I bundled 10 of them and moved it to the tens place. And then I ended up with 16 plus this one, 17 tens. So I bundled 10 of them and moved them to the hundreds place. So that gave me a total of 172. Then I came over and I started to show it vertically. So I've got 4 times 3 ones, which was 12. 4 times 4 tens, which was 160. And when I add these two partial products together, that gives me 172, just like I had over here in my model. All right, so this time we've got a different problem, and it says represent the following expressions with disc, regroup as necessary, to the right record the partial products vertically. So again, we're doing the same exact strategies that we were using in problem 1, only this time we have some different problems. I would like for you to go ahead and try to do A, and if you feel confident, go ahead and do B by yourself too. But if you get stuck and you're not sure if you're doing it right, go ahead and press play and you can follow along with me until you feel confident again to finish the rest of it by yourself. Okay, so let's take a look at 2 times 36. So the first thing I did was I went ahead and I represented 36 one time, and then I went ahead and represented it again. And you can see I ended up with 12 ones. So I bundled 10 of them and moved them to the tens place, and that gave me a total of 72. So over here, I'm going to represent it vertically. 2 times 6 ones was 12. 2 times 3 tens was 60. So when I add that together, it gives me 72. If you have not already done B by yourself, I want you to pause the video and try to do it now that you've taken a look at A. If you've already done it, then stay with me and we'll check it together. All right, so this time I had 61 times 3. So I went ahead and represented 61 one time, 2 times, 3 times. And you can see I ended up with 3 ones and 18 tens. I bundled 10 tens and moved it to the hundreds place. So that gave me a total of 100, 8 tens, and 3 ones. When I represented it vertically, I went ahead and said 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 6 tens is 18 tens, which is 180. And when I add that together, I get 183. So these two partial products add together to give us this total product of 183. All right, let's do one more. Again, if you have not done any of these by yourself, I want you to pause the video and do this one by yourself. If you've done the others by yourself, you may have already done this one by yourself, but you're going to have to wait for me to catch up with you. Okay, so when I got ready to model 84 times 4, my first thought was, ooh, this is going to be a lot of dots, so I'm going to have to be really careful when I do this. So you can see it kind of got a little messy. You can see I have 8 one time, 8 two times, 8 three times, 8 four times, and then I have 4 ones 4 times. So right off the bat, I had 16 ones, so I bundled 10, and I moved one over here. You can see my little blue one right there. And then I had 33 tens after I bundled one. So I had to make 3 groups of 10. I had to be really careful when I did this that I didn't write over a 10 and end up losing it. But I was really careful and I made 3 groups of 10 and that left me with 3 left over. So I had 3 hundreds, 3 tens, and 6 ones. And then when I wrote the problem vertically, I had 4 times 4 ones is 16 ones. 4 times 8 tens is 32 tens, which is 320. And when I added it together, I ended up getting the same answer, which was 336. Okay, so hopefully today you learned about how to multiply a 2-digit number times a 1-digit number, and you learned how to take 2 partial products and add them together to get a total product.